Welcome back to episode 11 of the Washed Athlete podcast. We've had a very interesting week so far, and I think Raj actually wants to lead off with something today.
Yeah, so for any of you pre-workout fiends out there, I know you're fiending for more pre-workout, so use our code WASH20 for 20% off your next pre-workout order on buckedup.com.
Yeah, they actually do a pretty good pre-workout. I've been using them because Raj has put me on them, and now that he's an ambassador and has that code, it's been pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the graveyard looks insane right now, but
The graveyard is absurd. Like the amount of pre-workout you go through specifically, like for how big you are, it is an ungodly amount of caffeine that you are consuming.
yeah, it's probably my 40s.
Yeah, we'll
That's
put
kind
that
of
off.
pre-workout is a good cup of coffee.
That honestly, like legitimately, black coffee as a pre-workout is like one of the healthiest things that you can do for pre-workout.
Or
Yeah,
you can go get run gum. Run gum is goated.
What's that?
It's like just gum, but it's like caffeinated. So you like chew it 10 to 15 minutes before, like it's supposed to be for runners because like when we get on the line, you like to be like alert and whatnot. So like this Olympian Nick Simmons, he created the company. He ran professional for a bunch of years. And the problem is, as runners, if you're doing anything over like a 2-minute run, like your stomach is really important. Like if your stomach doesn't feel good, then like you're gonna run bad just because like all the GI distress. So drinking coffee can be a problem with that. Like doesn't sit well in your stomach sometimes. Like close to a race, so you just pop a run gum 10 to 15 minutes before you run. You get a nice caffeine kick going, and you run. And it's like in a little circle tablet form. Great, life changing.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. Drinking like a cup of coffee before going on a run. That sounds like your insides would be gone.
That's
that
the
sounds
problem.
rough.
That's why going run gum is great.
Did you use any of the run gum before your track meet this weekend?
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah?
the problem is I don't really like mint, and I ran out of bubble gum flavor. The bubble gum was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, you don't really chew it for that long, but I did use it for the track meet this weekend. Track meet did suck indeed. The vibes were there, don't get me wrong, but running in 35-degree weather while it was snowing in an outdoor track meet was not it. I have never been in a situation before where it was just so ungodly. Like the conditions were so bad, and it was March 26th. Like there was no reason it should have been snowing. Like the weather should have been like 50, 60 degrees and like pretty good. And it was snow. Like literally we've probably had indoor track meets this season where the conditions were better outside the run. Like it was,
it's snowing right now.
Yeah, it's snowing right now.
Snow.
Like
what
me and Peter
right,
just came back from Costco, and it was like, remember how the snow was hitting against my windshield?
It was like it wasn't snow. It legit looked like hail. It was
Yeah.
very, very, very small pieces of snow, but they weren't like snowflakes. They were actual like compact like little snowballs. It was like bad.
I was in West Virginia yesterday. It was
That's what it was like.
Yes, the conditions outside right now are like what it was like in Virginia yesterday. It was
Oh
West Virginia. It was absurd. Like I was in disbelief that we were running. Like when we were going there, I was like, cool. Like again, mentally, was just like we're gonna sit down inside, like go through the whole indoor track meet process. Like and just it was so hard to process that I would be running outside. And like I got to the starting line, and usually like I don't wear gloves. I don't wear like anything when I run. I just wear my singlet and my shorts and whatever. And I was like, I had to put an undershirt on. And I didn't come prepared to wear an undershirt because I was like, I saw the temperature. I saw the high was gonna be 35 and it was snowing. But like I didn't process how cold it would be, and like I got on the line to run, and I was like, I need to put an undershirt on. Like I'm freezing cold. Like even this like 5-minute mile I'm gonna run, I still need to wear a shirt or else I'm gonna get freezing cold. And after the 4x4, I booked it inside. I didn't even take my spikes off. I ran across the turf, ran across the track, ran across the cement with my spikes on, and got inside to keep warm because that 4x4 was brutally cold.
How was
What?
how was it? What you guys run?
Oh, we ran bad. We ran, and for all the listeners, I run track and field, but like I'm not good. Like me and my team, we're like a club running team, so we have some impressive people on the team, but like don't be expecting to hear any world beater times out here. But no, we ran a distance 4x4. So me and a couple of my friends who are either don't really run that much or are just distance athletes, we ran a 4x4. I think we ran what was the time? Was it 4:05? It was like brutally slow. We finished, and like the effort I put out there on the track, I was like, I easily split like 57 or something. Like I was like, I
that's
ran
not
I ran
bad
at
at all.
400 fart. But the problem is it was a blizzard outside and it was 35 degrees. So the effort felt like a 57 effort, but I probably ran like a 62
Oh, never mind.
because because it was so cold. I ran a 5:30. We ran a 1500 at the meet. I ran a 5:13 mile at the meet yesterday. And my mile PR from a month ago is 4:51. I ran 22 seconds slower on the meet in the meet yesterday because it's so cold outside and the conditions are so bad.
Wait,
That
did
is
you just
absurd.
say your mile time is 4 minutes?
4:51, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Thank you. It's not really that insane, but like, I'll
I mean, that's
appreciate
coming
the hype.
from like me, where it's like, for Raj and I, it's like what, like our actual like mile times, quote unquote. What are you running? Like probably like a 6 something, like on a good day.
I hope.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't know if I could even get. I don't think I could get sub 8 at this point. I'm so out of shape.
I want to see you guys run a mile.
Good God, I would puke.
That would be
I
terrible.
would.
No.
I would want to see what my time would be for the 400 though. Like, I want to like try. I would want to try to get like under a minute. Like, I'd be chilling if I got a 59 right now. Absolutely chilling. I just don't think it's possible.
We're gonna have to do a washed athlete podcast track meet.
Olympics. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'll run the 40.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
The
But I
40.
won't do that.
The 40.
Yeah.
That's not even
Yeah.
a
Since when was
distance
that a
track.
thing?
I don't care. That's what we're doing.
We can run the 60.
Fine.
60 indoor. Yeah.
We don't
But
have an indoor
if
track.
you ran a
We-
102, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if you ran a 102 and it's in bad conditions, but you also don't run the 400, it's not the worst.
No, it's not a catastrophe by any means.
Yeah.
Well, like 62 is definitely not something you hang your hat on. But again, like the conditions were just so bad yesterday. Like running the mile halfway through the race, like my hamstrings just like got super tight because like it was freezing cold outside, and like I was wearing short shorts, and like and just like I just mentally gave up. Like I just was like I just like stopped running hard, and then like at the end, I was like one of my teammates was yelling at me to like catch the guys in front of them, like in front of me, and I was like he's like you can get them, and I thought in my head I was like Justin, I can get them. I thought about it. I was like I'm not really that tired, but it's because like I gave up for like an entire lap in the race because I was just like cold, didn't feel good, and was like, we done. But then like I was like after that race, I was like, okay, Justin, like 1500 meter out of the way. It was terrible. Whatever. Like I'm a little injured right now. So it's fine. I was like, all right, I'm scratching the 800. There's no way I'm gonna go outside and run this 800. Like scratch it. I'll just save myself for the 4x4. Then I decided to run the 800 anyway. After telling myself for a couple hours I wasn't gonna run it. And then the 800 was really cool because I went out first lap, hung behind people, made a big pass, whatever. I took the lead with like, I don't know, like 450 meters left in the race, and I had like created a sizable gap over the field. Like it was probably like a, I don't know, like a 10-meter gap. I ended up getting caught and getting in second, but that was cool because I like raced it really well, and I was like, man, like that was like a 210 effort. I was like 209, 210 for 800 meters. I was like, I like worked hard that 800. Like I definitely came out with the PR 217. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I just ran a 213. Like, I don't know. Like, again, when I ran that mile, so it was like, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. And I was like, that effort today, way harder. I worked way harder than this 800. Like, I was aggressive. I didn't like my 213. I was kicking people down, like running from the back. I ran from the front. This made big moves. I was like, we're going to be rewarded with a nice PR. 217. I ran 217 in high school.
That is crazy.
So wait,
800's
like-
a brutal race, though.
for the track guys, I have no. Are there like specific things you guys do while running? Like, are there like because you keep mentioning moves, and I have no clue what you mean by that.
So making a move is like accelerating in a certain point of time. So like if I'm making a move on the field, like I was in third and I went around two people who were in front of me and passed them and like gapped them because like the pace was slowing down and I thought my best chance to win was to like push the pace faster. So that's me making a move. But when you make moves, it often takes a lot of energy to make moves because you're like accelerating. So you leave yourself more vulnerable. Like they say in track, when you go, you have to go. So if you decide to like accelerate and get around people, like you need to stick to that. You can't just accelerate to go around people and then slow down because you wasted a ton of extra energy that the people behind you didn't do. So me making a move at that point was me gapping the field. And then I ended up getting passed again, but I probably ended up getting passed because I made too aggressive of a move. Or he was just faster than me.
And back when I was running in high school in terms of short distance, the only time that I would have to like go in the same lane and pass somebody up is if it was an indoor meet and we were running like the 400, because then I'm pretty sure the lanes would merge together. So
Yeah.
you would have to try to pass the people up. In terms of anything else though, like when you're running outdoors, you're not trying to like really make any moves. You're just trying to literally just run as fast as possible in your lane. It is more difficult because you have to kind of understand, okay, if you're like further to the inside, you're going to have like when you're going around the curve, it's going to be a shorter distance. Or if you're on the outside like lanes, it's going to be a longer distance. So you're going to try to want to build up a bigger lead. So when like you do hit the curve, you're going to like, I guess, have somewhat of a cushion. And if you're in the middle, like you're in the middle for a reason. Middle has like the fastest runners, but yeah, I mean, short distance, you just run. Like you literally, like one of my coaches told us that you just haul tail and turn left. That's literally it.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
a turn left. I
For
love
distance, for distances like 400 and below, you just run. Like,
Mm.
and then for any distance over that, you can actually like play the field. Like, especially indoor racing is a lot more tactical and like based on where you make the moves. Because usually, like outdoor track, one lap around is 400 meters. So you run the 400 meters, you're in your lanes the entire time. But if you run indoors, you break into your lanes 150 in. So like now you actually have to like if you're not in a good position, you're gonna have to pass someone, and passing people takes a lot of energy. And in a 400, where already like the last 100 meters is like agonizing pain, it's really hard to pass people.
Is
Yeah.
there like slipstreaming and like running? Because like I know in GTA, like if you're like or like even in swimming,
What are
like
you?
no, I'm like
Nobody, like,
no. Okay,
I don't-
hear me out.
like,
Hear me out.
Maybe I don't think so.
Like
What did you say?
like in swimming, like you swim close to the lane marker, so like you're closer to your opponent, so you can like catch whatever like drift they're making. Is there such thing for that in running? Like I have no
Run
clue how
behind.
this works. Okay.
So when you're running like track, if you're like trying to compete in a race, now you have to be like one of the good people to compete. But like if you're trying to compete, there's a big reason to not take the lead. It's harder to pace like mentally and like physically. Like if you're setting the tempo up front, you're doing a lot of extra work than the people who are behind you because they get to just sit in there, relax, and just follow the leader. So like pacing usually takes a lot more effort. But then also if you're sitting behind someone, you have to go around. So like it's kind of like an iffy thing. But breaking the wind's huge. In my mile race yesterday, I mean I didn't run well, but like I went right to the back of the field. I was like I let everyone in front of me break the wind for the first like 700-ish meters. I was like they can do that. Like that's fine.
So like in the office where like they were running like that mile thing. I think it might have been Andy, I guess, that was like running.
I've
He was
never
like
seen
running
The Office.
behind Kevin. You've never okay, hang on. What you've never seen The Office, bro?
I've seen like a clip of The Office. Like I've seen like the fire drill episode.
There's no way. Dude.
For the
Pick'em.
people that
Pick'em.
have seen The Office, what is the best episode?
What's the best episode?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
that Justin just said it. Like that's my take. What are you like? What's up? Rod?
Fire drill's a good one. I was gonna say the race one is a good one. The one that was about a reference where he has to like cover his nipples with like the gauze because he starts like chafing or whatever.
That's the problem with the marathon is people are always
Yeah.
taping their nipples because they're gonna bleed. Like everyone's been telling me to tape my nipples for my marathon coming up, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh god.
Like, if
Yeah.
I've come across with bloody nips, I come across with bloody nips. Like I'm
You
not taping
can't-
Oh
them.
my god.
More about an honor and pride thing.
What?
Is it more about like an honor and pride thing?
I'm not putting tape over my nipples. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I've never had nipple chafing before. We're not getting it this. We're not doing it. No.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh my god. Well,
There's
'cause I
a
didn't-
picture of someone running the Disney marathon, and their whole white shirt is red. It's disgusting.
That is terrible.
Yeah, because I didn't know that was like I thought it was like a joke in the
Yeah,
show. Like I didn't realize that was an actual thing.
Oh yeah.
But like it is apparently. And I was like, what? Like this actually happens with like marathon runners?
Yeah, it's because the shirt like just like goes like is just on and just goes
Yeah.
against it.
Track is
Jeez.
fun though. Like
Love track.
it was
I hate
definitely
running.
Yeah.
it was a more
Cardio.
enjoyable, like team sport than like Like it was more. I felt more like of a homey team than football was. Football was a different team. Yeah, at least from my experience, for sure. Maybe because I was better at track than for football, but like with I would say like it was more like homey than football was. Football
No.
though was like it's better in certain aspects, but in terms of track, I guess in terms of like the team chemistry, the track team
Okay.
had like better team chemistry than the football team. Like
No,
no
That's
question.
fair.
you cannot, and I mean, I'm obviously biased because I'm a track athlete. You cannot, and as someone who's played soccer as well, you cannot get a better environment in a community than the track community. Like there's no like drama about who's starting, who's not starting. There's no beef at practice. Like you're purely out there to like make yourself better through the coaching, and you work with other people and like we hype up everyone who runs. Like if we're like getting ready for the 4x4 yesterday, they were running the 5K. Like we're applauding every single person who comes around the track because they're just going out there to try to like hit their mark. The same thing with like lifting the gym. Like you were there to like hit your PR, and you really don't give a crap like what other people do. You're just about doing your best. And when you do team sports, there's a lot of like, oh, they shouldn't be starting, or like, oh, we have beef because we like fought at practice once, or like they're making us like run ourselves into the like. I just less competitive with each other and more just on to like competitive with yourself. So
Like nothing like can beat, or there's very few experiences that can beat like the 4x4 and like at the end of a track meet. Like
Absolutely.
having it like especially having run it, like having like the entire team cheering for you, like just the crazy environment. If you're the anchor, you're literally like that's it. Like you are the last person for your team that will like cross the finish line. It's just an insane experience. Um, I mean, I love track. I wish I did track for more than 2 years. I want to make it known. I like football more than I like track, but in terms of like I guess the team chemistry and team like I guess homey bonding experience, like even our athletic director was saying like that the number one team in terms of chemistry was I'm pretty sure like cross country, then followed by track. I don't know where football was on that list, but like I don't know, track is just different. Like
I
for
think
whatever,
that's a valid take though, because like I could see because like on the football field, I think it's hard to argue over like many other sports. It's like how like it's like I feel like football is the most team oriented sport there is like on
yeah,
the field. But like I could totally see that argument like when it comes to like actual team chemistry, like team bonding, like yeah, you can like people can have beef like on the team where it's like, oh, I think I'm better, I should be playing. It's like all this stuff versus in track where I feel like it's like if your time's better, it's just better. Like there's a
yeah,
reason why you're running. Like there's no like hard feelings. It's like yeah, like we can literally see verbatim. It's like all right, they just have a faster time. That's why they're running it. There's no beef. It's like, yeah, I mean, they're just like a little bit better. Like, there's no real issue there. It's a lot more subjective in like other team sports where it's like, oh, well, this person might be better at like this aspect of the position they're playing at versus this other person. And it's like, well, then why am I not starting? Whatever. It's like you can get into like the stupid like politics of it. But yeah, I
no,
think
I think
that's a really good point.
yeah, I think football is the ultimate team sport. Um, like there are times that like I mean I did football for all 4 years of high school, so yeah, there's more opportunity for like me to enjoy football than track. Um, but like with the 2 years alone that I did track, there were a lot, I guess, more of high moments than like at least it felt like there were more high moments than there were than in football. Um, I do want to like reiterate again, football over track, but in terms of the team itself, it's hard to go against the track team. Like it just is.
Yeah.
you can genuinely go to a track meet, run like dog, and then come back and be like, you know what, I had a great time because the team was super hype. Versus football, like you go and get your asses handed to you, and you're just pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, the whole bus ride back would be silent. Like
Oh,
people be like upset about like people making bad plays, drop passes. Coach is gonna be yelling at you, making you sprint and whatnot. Like
yeah. And that is
Like
the exact reason why both Raj and I hate track so much because running was a
Uh,
punishment.
uh, no, oh my God,
Not
field
that.
lines and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
no,
gassers.
it sucks. Like football had more difficult like punishments and practices than track, no question. Um, but I had one point. I just completely forgot my point. Dang it.
Was it that you like football better than track?
No, it wasn't that.
He said
It
that
was,
he said that 4 times.
no, it was something else. It was relating to I think my experience playing football. But I can't remember. I'll come back to me later.
Is it about a punishment or is it about like a coaching thing or like a player thing?
No, like I literally completely blanked. Just like come back to me.
I'll just say, like, when you're comparing like team sports and whatnot, like basketball is definitely not there in terms of chemistry. Like basketball is probably like the worst team dynamics I think you can have, and like I'm sure there's basketball players who probably don't listen to this podcast, but probably would disagree heavily because they think their team's great. But like basketball, like very like, oh, that player's trash. I'm gonna cross you up. I'm gonna like try to embarrass you on a dunk. Like I don't know why coach is playing you. You're trash. Like kind of that like type of mentality. Where I don't really think it creates like good vibes. Even high school, I'm like, our basketball team sucked, and like I heard other basketball players be like, I don't know why they like that person plays any minutes at all. They're terrible and whatnot. But it just like track just takes that, and cross country takes that away. You just break it down. I mean, I played soccer for 14 years of my life, and in the short amount of years I played, I ran track for like 4 years. Before now, I guess now it's 6 years, but for the 4 years in high school, like the community is just better. Like you don't have to worry about that, but you're still working really hard. Track workouts are super painful, and like you'll be sore, you'll be super tired and whatnot. But like you get to do it with your teammates, and then at the end of it, no one's like, "Haha, I beat you on this track rep." It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can. You go, Jacob.
I remember what I was
You
going to
remembered
say.
it? Yep.
Oh my god.
Back to like you would lose in football. It was silent on the bus. The bus. It wasn't fun. I remember distinctly. I was running at state. I knew I wasn't going to be. I wasn't going to win state. I don't think we had enough like people that would go to state that qualified for state to actually like have enough points. So I think we were just like as a team mathematically like eliminated. And then like individually, they're just people that are faster. And I remember I was going around the curve. I was in like first place at the time for a relay. I'm feeling myself. I'm thinking I'm doing pretty well. And then I just see a blur out the corner of my eye. Like, what in the world just happened? I get absolutely passed up and dusted by this guy that they went to the school called Episcopal, and I was like, wow, that's just absolutely absurd. And I can still talk about it. I talked about it immediately after the fact, like, months after the fact. And now, like, it's not like anything that I'm, salty about or like mad about or any way. Because I know, dang, he was just straight up faster than me. There's no hard feelings to it. It's just a fact of the matter.
Yeah, and even on me, like if I ran a 5:13 mile conversion on any other given day, I'd be like, God, I'm terrible. Like that would be a really bad time. But like for track, sometimes you just shake things off, and your teammates are like, yeah. Like if you talk to teammates after the race, they'll just be like, yeah, bro, like the conditions are bad outside, or like, yeah, you'll get them back like on another day. Like no one's like punishing you for like running poorly or like trying to put you down. It's like people have bad races in track and field, but with team sports, sometimes it's like if you lose to an inferior team, like not a good look, and people are not gonna be happy.
Yeah, like like believe it or not, even the tennis team had beef. Like,
oh, I'm sure. Yeah, because you don't you have a way of ranking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically the way of ranking works is you have like these things called challenge matches where like so basically like the year before whoever had their spot, we kind of make a soft lineup based off that, and then to determine where people land, they have challenge matches and everything. My junior year, there was a lot of beef going around with a senior and a freshman. I'm not going to name them because I mean it doesn't matter, but the senior lost to the freshman pretty badly, and he was the entire year he was just molding, saying, "I need another challenge match. I am so much better than him." But like I can even see like how you talk about like track after the fact. There's no beef, but like even with a sport like tennis, which you would think is like like a calm sport and everything, but like it's just the fact there's beef on the team. Just I don't know.
see, you want to know what I want to know? Is there beef in golf?
Yes, I do
There's
want to know
gotta
if there's
be.
beef in golf.
There's gotta be.
Because some people will claim that like they were bad on a given course or whatnot, and it's not reflective, or they had like a bad day, and that kind of like choose their whole like that affects their whole like outlook. And yeah, they totally like there's this guy, I think his name is Brian Shambo, don't quote me wrong, but he has like mad beef with like I think Phil Mickelson. Like they actually hate each other.
I think it's DeChambeau, I think.
DeChambeau, yeah,
I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
like they're professional golfers, some of the like really good professional golfers, and they hate each other. Like everyone's like they don't want to talk to you. I'm like, beef in golf?
Yeah,
Like, there's no beef in track and field. There was a situation where Houston and LSU 4x1 team at the Texas Relays one time, they started like pushing each other after the race or whatnot. That was a little strange. I don't really know what that was about, but like, besides like little like niche incidences like that, like you dap up everyone after. I found the guy who beat me in the 800, like dapped him up like after the race. We talked for like a little bit about like just the race and like the moves and like how our season was going and whatnot. Just like there's just no bad, like you just got beat. Like that's how it is. Like even if you are a better runner and you feel like you had a bad day, you know that. Like let the other person have their like they beat you. That's fine.
yeah, give them their flowers, like they
Yeah.
deserved it. Like, yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
I think that like track, like it's just a matter, like especially for short distances, it's just like okay, it's like there's not much strategy to it as much like as football, basketball, and other sports. If they're faster than you, then they're faster than you. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
So there's no need to be complaining. Oh no, this was supposed to be our year. We practiced so hard for this. No, they just beat you. You know.
yeah. It's
There's-
very matter of fact. It's like, yeah, they're just faster. Like that's it.
Like I remember my last race, I was running. I was like, I got the final, like, past the final curve in 400, and I'm, in the last 100, and
You're gritting your teeth. The lactic acid's in your legs.
it's all guts. You're gritted out, and then somebody passes me up, and he's probably ahead of me by maybe 5-10 meters max, and I'm just like, dang, this sucks. And I didn't know it was going to be the last race because COVID shut everything down, but. I lost, and I was like, "Dang, that sucks." But I was like, he beat me. Props to him. And I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, I just like said, "Good job" after the race, because I mean, that's just how it.
No bad blood. And cross country, same thing. Like cross country, great team dynamic. Like you go out, try to score as many points possible as a team, but like if you don't, you can be disappointed. But it's like everyone went out there, everyone ran the race as best as they could on that given day. That's how it goes. Like, I mean, there would be bad blood if someone like didn't try their hardest, but like as long as that doesn't happen, like you can only do like the best you can in that moment. But like those decisions just on the other side of sports. I think swimming is track and field, but in the water. Like everything that I say about swimming, everything I say about track and field, I think applies to swimming.
That would make. I would feel like that would make sense. Yeah, like in football, like if an offensive lineman gets blown up by Aaron Donald, Aaron Donald's just a better player than you, but at the same time, it's clearly your fault that
Yes.
that guy either got sacked or the running back got tackled for loss. But in track, unless you're like messing up the exchange in a relay, which doesn't happen, or at least didn't happen when I was running as much, like, as I guess maybe you would think. I don't know. Like, it's not clear, okay, it's someone's fault. I feel like that also has to play into it, right?
Well, about side note about dropping the baton yesterday at the meet. I'm not gonna call out the schools that were there. They were D3
no.
schools, so it was we're a club team, but we race against a lot of D3 colleges. And like there was this girls team, and there's two teams. And first exchange, I was like, all right, this one team's got this. I was like, they just look more confident, like they're good. And first exchange happens, and the bad team doesn't drop the baton, but they have a terrible handoff, so it costs them like they're running a 4x1, so it probably cost them like 2 seconds. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of time. And then I was like, man, my team's got this in the bag. I knew that team didn't look confident from the jump, and then the good team fumbles a handoff on the second exchange, and I was like, damn, like this bad team is back in it, and then the bad team fumble the next handoff. And they were so many fumbled handoffs. I was like, what is going on? Like, did these teams not practice the handoffs?
That's crazy.
Like, you literally
That's
couldn't
really
blame it on
fun.
one person because there were so many bad handoffs.
That's really funny. Oh
Wow.
my god. Yeah, I mean the thing that Jacob was talking about before with like I think with like how like there's not really like one person that you can like blame on a track team. I think that like in football especially, it's like because everybody kind of has like such like a specialized role, it's like a very defined, it's like, okay, your job is to do like this thing. And it's like, okay, I can do my job, but the play can still get blown up and it's not even my fault that we're losing. It's like I could be doing a great job like playing defensive end, whatever. I could be setting the edge, I could be like applying pressure, whatever. But then I could be doing a great job, and then, oh, well, my corner got burned, and it's a 60-yard touchdown. and our coach is pissed at the entire defense for letting up a touchdown. It's like, well, I did my job. I did what I was supposed to do. So it's like it immediately turns to like, yeah, point right at that person. It's like that person's the one that messed up. It's like it should technically the blame should fall directly on that one person, but the team itself is getting blamed for it. So I think there is like kind of like that atmosphere.
Absolutely, and then it's the association. It is Eli Apple is getting burned on the Giants. The Giants' defense is trash. Then the fan base hates the Giants because they can't draft anyone who's good enough to play cornerback. And then everyone then associates all that hate on the Giants to Eli Apple. And then what happens is Eli Apple gets shipped out of town, whatever. And everyone's like, thank God that trash player is out of our organization. Then the Giants' defense still sucks, and you just find another scapegoat.
Exactly.
And it's the same. It works the same way in high school. I mean, not without the trades and stuff, but same thing where like you have fans going to a game and you see that the wide receiver drops a lot of passes. Wow, John Brown, that dude sucks right now. He's terrible. I'm gonna see him in the hallway later and I'm gonna laugh at him. But in track and field, no one goes, man, I saw that kid running really slow out there. I'm gonna make fun of him the next day because everyone's like, wow, that kid's running really hard. He's trying his best. Like I don't want to be running right now.
Exactly. I think that's the big difference with running. It's like no one wants to do it because like it's not like there's nothing flashy about it. It's not like, oh, like that looks like so cool. It's like I think I could do that. It's like, nah, you just gotta run, man. Like
it's purely about competing with yourself and competing with others if you're at the top level, and that's what has to motivate you about running.
Exactly. It's like it's very self-motivating. Like not like any other sport like isn't like a lot is like self-motivation, but like there is literally nothing else besides it's like, yeah, I need to run.
Unless you're a top level athlete, they're like you're not like I'm not competing for anything. If I went and won the meet yesterday, we might have gotten a trophy. Maybe, probably not.
But like it's a track trophy. It's like I don't care. It's
it's like a random like meet in the middle of like the spring type trophy. Now if we go win, we have nationals coming up next week.
Club big nationals. Guy.
Club nationals. Yeah, if we win club nationals, then yeah, it's a bigger deal. Like we'll be excited about that. But like if we don't win it, no one's gonna be like, wow, we lost because of this person. Because there's a ton of things that could go wrong. We were supposed to get second in club nationals for cross country, and we didn't. We came in fourth, and like there were a lot of reasons why, and there were certain people who were on the team that like didn't race as well as they should have, and that's probably why we lost. But no, like I have not lost any to sleep about being like that person cost us that title. I'm like we as a team could have all collectively run better.
Exactly.
To win.
Yeah. I'd also like to note real quick, I think I can speak on behalf of all of us. I don't think this is a pro Eli Apple podcast at all.
Excuse me, I love Eli Apple.
Raj.
I don't care. I know. Eli Apple's a clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
You're the first one to clown him. Shut up.
Yeah. Eli Apple disrespected certain fan bases and certain cities.
And certain cities.
and a very certain city specifically.
We will never, ever, even if the opportunity presents itself, have Eli Apple on this podcast. Just would like to point that out.
No, we'll let him on the podcast. We'll just to rip him a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll change what I said. Eli Apple.
Sit him down across the table. Like, why do you hate my city? Tell me now.
He is like the cornerback version of Matt Nagy.
It's
just an other person.
Why do you hate Matt so Nagy? Much?
Just Matt Nagy is just he's not a fan of the guy.
You are a Steelers fan. You don't care about the Bears. Like, why does it matter?
You were definitely at his son's game saying fire Nagy. Like, there's no way you were not there.
Oh my god.
I wish I was there. Nah, I'm playing.
You wish I was there? Bro, that poor kid.
He needed to get fired. Like, he just absolutely wasted talent. My goodness.
And this is exhibit A of why football is more toxic than track. There we go. Oh my god.
Knows the track athletes, unless you're like Usain Bolt and like certain other runners aren't like nobody knows, like the second string, or the alternate runner in the 4x4 for like the U.S. like track team, like No,
some of it's a popularity thing too. I mean, I don't think you guys could tell me the guy who just broke the 10,000 meter American record in track and field that happened like a week or two ago.
That happened.
Could not tell you.
And
I didn't know those would have been either. So
Yep. 10K. No one even knows that the American record fell like on a national scale. I mean, track runners know it fell. No one knows that the guy who just broke the 5,000 and 10,000 meter world records within the last year. No one knows who won the Olympic gold medal in the 100 meters because Usain Bolt isn't around anymore. No one knows like who won the Tokyo Marathon or who Eliud Kipchoge is unless you follow like the one Bleacher Report post a year that is track related.
I didn't even know they posted about track.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
lie.
lie.
They posted like one thing about Eliud Kipchoge, probably because some track athlete sent it to them and was like, "Hey, this guy who runs a marathon, who's lost one marathon in his entire career, and has the world record and constantly beats people by like crazy margins, is maybe the greatest athlete of all time." And Bleacher Report was like, "We'll put an obligation post out for that."
Like is the most like the best athlete of all time, and like not talking in terms of like their ability in the sport, just like in terms of like athleticism.
Joe Burrow.
Shut up.
Okay, try again, Raj.
Try again.
Like awful.
Okay, wait. Based off pure athleticism,
Are we okay? Yeah.
like what are the parameters? Like just
yeah.
athleticism itself.
Speed, strength, like I guess maybe jumping ability. I don't know, but like quickness, speed, and strength.
That's
I
tough
guess
one.
whoever the best decathlon athlete
Yeah.
is then.
Just like add like dominance in their sport.
Add
Well, we could just add that.
Ashton Eaton,
Change up the like parameters.
who dat, Justin?
American decathlete.
Okay.
Damian Warner, who won the gold medal.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, like it's kind of hard to argue against decathlon athletes who are doing like literally every sport in
10
one
events, yeah.
go.
All right, something that we would. How about that?
Whoa, the disrespect to the track athletes. What do you mean? What we all know?
I just gave such a impassioned speech about how much I love track, but I don't know a single track.
But you still love football more than track, right?
You said that like 10 times.
1,000%. It's wild. Like one thing is wild that track is probably the most accessible sport. Like because all you need to do is run, but
Yeah,
it's
you need
just
a pair
like,
of shoes. Like that's it.
sports in the world. Well, at least in the United States, I would say, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so accessible. I think some of it is like you want your kids. I think some of it just stems from like early like childhood. Is you want your kids to compete in team sports because they get to meet other kids and learn how to work on a team. So you always start there. And I mean, track is like, I mean, you're really like, even when you just go for a run, like the greater goals in mind. If I just go for a random 7-mile run, like that's not going to give me a lot of fitness in that moment, but it's like over time that will help towards my goal of running a marathon or towards my goal of running like a faster mile. You can't really teach to young kids like the value of like training like in the beginning to like get this bigger goal. Like track is not a sport that people typically start even like running until they're like 10 years old. Like even if you see these like 8-year-old like these U8 track meets like on the national scale, it's usually like soccer and football athletes who just are really fast and like being fast, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, I'd like to run," and they're like, "Hey, my kid's pretty fast. I'm gonna enter him in this meet." Like, they don't train track and field at a young age. I think it's just like it just doesn't stem from that. I think if like we encouraged it in our youth and like got a lot of people involved in running, I'm sure like people would care way more. And I'm definitely of a push that I want to see track and field like make more of a national scale where people actually care about the championships, because like it is super like for people who follow running, the 10,000 meter world record going down is crazy huge. Like just the shift in running, and like running is very controversial with like the running technology that is out now, like how people train and whatnot, and it's super cool. But yeah, it's just not a sport that makes national attention, but that's okay because there's a ton of others that don't. No one gives a damn about the USA curling team.
How dare you insult those dads?
I
I
love watching curling for the Winter Olympics. I could not name you one person who curls on the team.
No, not
John
a chance. John Smith. Yeah, I mean,
Shout out John, 'cause I used John Brown earlier for my.
yeah, just random guy named John. Yeah,
The funny thing is, there's an NFL receiver who's John Brown.
Yeah.
there is.
There is, yeah, it's Hollywood Brown, right?
The,
Not
Oh
Hollywood
no,
Brown.
yeah.
What?
he played for if I recall correct. He has a crazy celebration, if I'm thinking of the right guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the decathlon, there is the 100 meter, the long jump, shot put, high jump, 400, 110 hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, 1500.
My goodness, sounds cool.
So
Exactly.
essentially, like the 100 meter is like you need to be able to sprint really fast, and then the 100 is like you need to be able to sprint fast to get to top speed, and then you need to have the explosiveness to like pop off and jump far. Then the shot put is like you need to have a lot of power. Then the high jump is like, okay, what's your vert like? Like, can you really like get up there and be flexible and bend around the bar? Then the 400, which is the last event of day one. So you all run this in one day, do this in one day, or 2 days. This is the first day. And then the 400 meters, like you need to be fast, but you need to be able to sustain your speed for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Then you go to the second day, the 110 hurdles, which is like a ton of technique. So you need to really be like dialed in on your technique. Then they do the discus, which is a lot, again, a lot of technique of how to throw that discus, but you also need to be strong. Then you have to do the pole vault, which is like literally taking your own body weight and hoisting it up a giant pole to get over this bar, which takes a ton of like just strength and like just being able to get your own body weight up. Then javelin, again, another throwing and technique. And then at the end, you have to run a 1500 meter to really check your like pure endurance.
That's what like
I don't
That's-
think I'm making it through like 2 events.
wow. Like
Not even
the
close.
like the shin splints you'll get from practicing block
Oh,
is just absurd.
oh.
High jump, it's a lot more about like it's also getting your steps down, which is a lot like
Mm-hmm.
more difficult than you would think. Pole vault is more dangerous, like is also pretty dangerous. But I mean, it's also takes a lot of skill. There was one meet actually where when they were going up, the pole actually snapped, and it sounded like
Oh my.
it was so
Yeah.
crazy,
It's
and
scary.
it's really scary because like. I mean, that's like that could be like that could impale somebody. Like that would be terrible. And then I guess Justin, what's the fastest 400 you've seen
In person,
in person?
I don't know, probably like a 52, 51.
Damn.
I
You-
assume that's fast.
Not
No,
really.
no. The fastest I've seen, saw somebody run sub 50. Like I think they ran like a 47 or something. Like they were.
Sounds about right.
Translate this to 40 times. Is this like a relatively fast 40 time, a
If you're running
slower?
a 47, like this was high school. You are getting an automatic scholarship if you're running a 47 to the four. Like that is.
Yeah.
Like I was running like my school isn't known for like track per se. And I was running a 54 and that was like good for my school. I saw this kid like it's like the Sugar Bowl like classic meet and like one of the stadiums in Louisiana. And like all you had people from all over like from the South coming to compete. I'm pretty sure Julio Jones actually held a record there because they announced it. It was really cool hearing Julio Jones. I'm like, wow, he ran here. But there was one guy that ran literally like I want to say 47, and he was like so far ahead of everybody, and it was so fast. It was just ridiculous. Like because I just don't think I could run that fast or sustain it. Like not even to consider both.
Like one or the
No,
other. Like
I-
can't do either of them.
So I say that. So like we have on our club team, we have a D1 runner who currently comes on and like runs because he ran at Pitt. His eligibility ran out, and now he's like an assistant coach, and whatnot. And he's really good. Like he's a legit like kind of semi-pro runner. And he runs with us sometimes at our meets and whatnot. And he was there yesterday. And when you watch him run, you're watching someone who's so much more talented than you could ever be at what he does, and he like is not even close to good enough to compete like on the professional level. And it is just like absurd to see. I'm like, I can barely do what he's doing for like a mile. And he just did it over and over and over again for 6 miles.
Ugh.
And he wasn't really even trying, and he's not even that good in the grand scheme of things.
Jeez. That is
Oh.
that's absurd.
Yeah. Now, one that I will say looks like it's awful is any hurdle race over 300 meters. The 400 itself is such a brutal race, but having to add hurdles to that is more difficult that you can understand. Like I tried to do hurdles one time in practice, and like just getting like your steps down And like, I guess getting great technique is just very difficult for hurdles. And then on
Yep.
top of that, doing that for such a long distance, or a distance that you might not think is long, but it turns out to be ridiculously long. Just test your endurance, and you got to do it quickly. It's just,
Yeah, track is really hard actually. Like, come to think, it's like it's really really difficult.
No,
Yeah.
I respect track runners because you enjoy doing our punishment.
Exactly.
Like I
Like,
don't
I
understand
have-
how y'all enjoy it.
It's not like
Utmost respect.
it's not
Yeah.
like a enjoying it in the moment type of thing. It is a sometimes like going for like a longer run can clear your head and whatnot, and you're usually running with people, so it's like good to talk to them and whatnot. But like, it is working towards the goal of achieving what you set out to do. So it's not about like going on like a 14-mile long run in preparation for a mile is like fun, but it's like when I finish the marathon, it'll be super fun because I set out a goal 6 months ago to run the marathon, and then I'll finish. That's like what track and like running is about.
Respect.
No,
Ain't no
for
way
me-
you're gonna.
Respect.
Ain't no way you're gonna see me enjoy going on a mile run.
No.
Man, I
Well,
don't
you
even do cardio at the gym.
Also,
You can
just
just,
like
like-
scientifically, the endorphins you release while like exercising are just like make
Oh,
you
yeah.
happy. So
Yeah.
You can
I
just
mean,
do
that's
like
why-
quick sprints though. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
No, I was just gonna say like you could just do quick sprints. Like for me,
Yeah.
I enjoyed football primarily because of love of the game. And then I had like friends from it. But like track, no. Like I don't like running just straight running for the point of running. No. Like no like that's just crazy. That even sounds crazy to me. Like and I did track in high school, but like it still sounds crazy to me. Like Justin, I don't know how you can continue to do that. But like for me it was just the team. Like that's what kept me like invested in running track like when I was in high school.
it ain't easy, but someone gotta do it.
It's got to be done. Yeah, I mean, Justin, the way you're describing track, like it sounds like very similar to like weightlifting and like stuff that
Yes.
like I guess like Raj and I do, where it's like you're really only working against yourself, and it's one of those things where it's like it's very like obviously it's self-oriented, like you're really only working against yourself, like and it's like if there are other people at the gym that are like lifting more than you, it's like yeah, they've probably been lifting for a lot longer than I have. They have like better technique. They have like this, that, the other. It's like there's
They're
no
just
real
God.
exactly. It's like or maybe they're just really good. Like maybe they're
Yeah.
just super strong. Like who knows? It's like there's no real like beef there because it's just like I mean yeah they're just stronger. Like that's
Exactly.
really
Like,
Yeah. So the biggest
also-
difference between go ahead, Raj.
congrats to Peter for hitting his new PR 405 on deadlift.
it. Damn you, Rush. Just called me out of the podcast. Yeah, I did. 4 was a little bit sus right at the end. I was worried, but
You
you know
still
what? I
hit
got
it?
it up. It was like I
Held it
got
up for a while.
that's the thing is like I like had it and there was like a point where I borderline blacked out. I was like I can't lift this, but I'm doing it out of spite now. And just like got it up and like I held it. Like I had to like focus to not pass out and then look myself in like the mirror so like I have good form like okay, I got it. And I'm like do I go for 2? And then like I slowly start to like go down. I'm like there's no way in hell I'm doing this and I just drop it.
Yeah.
No, I think the biggest difference between weightlifting and running is like running, you definitely like exert yourself more, and you don't get like the physical like body results. Whereas like when you're lifting, you get the, like the muscles and like and whatnot. I mean, you can get like abs from running and whatnot, but like you also can just be like a lot more stick. Like when I'm running a lot of miles and like don't have the time to lift, like I just end up looking like a noodle, and I hate it. But like it's what it takes to be good at my sport sometimes.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Not you don't need to look like a noodle to be good at running, but sometimes just based on how like many miles you have to run and the weightlifting you can put in, you just
Does make sense.
yep, just sometimes just how it ends up shaking out.
Yeah. I mean,
We are a track
it's fun.
podcast.
We are, I guess, yeah, I was about to say, we are a track podcast now. I mean,
We are a
there we
track
go.
and- We are.
Yeah.
You're all track stands now.
We're all track stands. Yeah, I guess we also,
I
Roger
don't-
support it from the sidelines.
The funny thing is that we're talking about track and field the day Andres isn't here, who is the only other person.
Yeah.
Not only I guess we have 3 people, but the only person who's run cross country like in high
legit,
school
yeah.
who would like sit here and like die over the cross country hill.
Of course.
And
The
he's not here
one
today.
day. The
Yeah, I know.
one day. Oh
Like,
my god.
if you two were on like the field though, like during like the track meets, like just watching the events happen, it's actually like more fun than you would like think.
Yeah, you
I,
have to
like,
be you,
it's
you have
just
to be
cool.
you have to be invested in what's going on.
Yeah,
like
like
I'm not, the only time I watch track is during the Olympics, and like I'm like whenever I do watch the Olympic track meets, I'm like, wow, this is actually kind of electric.
And then
like
it's like,
it,
all right, I'm never watching this again until
Well,
the next
yeah.
Olympics.
yeah. Like it would be fun. Like it takes all day. But like when you're just sitting there,
I
like on
know.
the field, like it's fun. Like you're just watching your teammates, show out.
It was fun yesterday, but when we went to Buffalo Wild Wings at night after I got back, I was back for 15 minutes until I got ready to leave, and
Yeah.
my voice was like slowly leaving from like just talking and like screaming all day.
Yeah.
I was just like I was just hitting a lull in the middle of the day today. I was just like I am tired and I don't know what
Yeah.
from, and I was like, oh wait, I was had a track meet all day yesterday. And it
What
was
is-
35 degrees.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just like, and it was 35 degrees.
What is the best sauce from Buffalo Wild Wings?
Oh my god.
Okay, I got so before while everyone can think about it. I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna agree, but I got orange chicken sauce yesterday because I was just like, I'm gonna try something new. Not that good. Don't get it.
Ooh.
It was like mid. I heated them up for lunch today
Yeah.
and like my onion rings and like it was fine. But like orange chicken sauce, like it's not worth to get it. It was a good experiment. I'm glad I tried it out, but definitely not top tier. My favorite is honey barbecue. I will any
Honey
place I go,
barbecue's
honey barbecue,
really good.
fire.
Yeah.
See, for me,
Um,
I mean, I like the Parmesan garlic, but I also do like a little heat with it. So what I typically do is I get either the hot buffalo or just regular hot, and then kind of like mix it in with the garlic parm to kind of make that like spicy garlic parm.
I have so one time I have had that when I was visiting Virginia Tech on a tour. We went to this one like sports bar or whatever, and they had spicy garlic parmesan. And I was like, we are getting this immediately. And it was the greatest sauce I have ever had. So Raj, I 100% agree with you. But I would say for like the actual sauce, I do like spicy garlic because it's like kind of like that. And then I'm also going to go with Justin. Honey barbecue is just a solid go-to no matter where you're at.
Interesting. In terms of Buffalo Wild Wings, for me, I remember the first time we went at Pitt, and Andres put me on the garlic parmesan wave.
Yeah.
And since then, I have not left. It is the one specifically there with the Italian herbs goes so hard. Like I like salty foods, so like the saltiness of the sauce, I guess, is something that I enjoy. So I 100% like no questions have to go with that.
Raj, I have to get my leftovers from your fridge. I'm
Oh, they're
just
still
so-
in there.
Yeah. I did write my name on them though, so if there's 10 wings in there. If any of those are missing, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. Or
No
Andres,
nonsense.
depending on who ate them.
Wait, hold on. What is everyone's favorite food here? I don't think we ever talked about favorite foods. Like,
Oh god, don't do this to me.
I'm
I have
gonna
my
do
answer.
this.
Do we have to like? Okay, wait. Are we talking like type of food? Like if you have like Chinese food,
like,
Italian food,
I'm
whatever.
talking about
Like
specific
last
food.
meal. Like what's your last meal
No,
on
no.
this earth you're gonna
No,
eat?
I don't even think it goes on that. Like, I just tell you what your favorite food is. 'Cause I think my last meal on this earth would be different than my favorite food.
Okay, that's fair.
Could it be from a specific place?
Yeah, sure.
we're
I mean,
going-
if you want to get that specific, you don't need to. But if you want to, go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'll just be, I guess, more general. The lamb chops, the ones that like the lollipop lamb chops, are
Lollipop lamb chops.
without a doubt. You got to season it well, of course, but without a doubt, those are that's my favorite food. Like that
Oh,
steak, you can't go wrong with steak, obviously, but lamb chops, perfect.
I think I know mine now that I'm thinking about it. So back in my hometown, there was this one restaurant that we would go to like every once in a while, and they had. It's very simple. It's like it's this really small restaurant. They do like a lot of like it's like a sports bar and grill, whatever. But they had this baked penne there that was like so unbelievably good. It came out in a bowl that was like enormous. Like it was like two servings worth of food in one. And it's like they have, so it's like obviously it's like they have the pasta, like the penne. Then it was like it was either a red or a pink sauce. I forget which one it was. And then it was like sweet Italian sausage, chicken. I think it might have been spicy Italian sausage too.
Oh, gas.
Then it was like melted mozzarella cheese on the top. That because they put it in the oven, it was like crispy on the top too. And then they also had like the cheese inside that was like all melty. And it came with these big ass like portions of like this garlic bread. Oh my god, I could eat that for days. It was so good.
The portion size, is it like compare it to Buca di Beppo? Yeah.
Compare it to Buca di Beppo, like it might have been roughly, I would say it was like roughly the same.
Okay.
Like, you know, like the one
That's
that
a
you
lot.
got where it was like kind of like that like bowl thing that you split with Andres. It's like roughly that of
Okay.
like the best pasta ever.
Yeah. So definitely not Buca di Beppo, but like the same
not.
portion size.
Same portion size, but like not at all Buca di Beppo.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go nostalgic and go back to my roots for this. Specifically, homemade chicken tikka masala with naan.
Oh,
It's just
sounds
Peter.
so good.
When you came to my
Yes,
house,
I
you
did.
tried it.
Oh my god, that was so good, dude.
Like, like I basically grew up with that for like 18 years of my life and probably had it like twice or three times a month. Like it was just like it's super good. It's like really nostalgic, especially like I mean the way my mom makes it, it's pretty similar to like how a lot of Indian like probably parents cook it, but like it's just
very
super
traditional, yeah.
Yeah, it's like traditional. It's like hearty. It's just a good meal.
It really is, dude. That was so good.
I always have gone with, and I still will stick with shrimp being my favorite food.
Just shrimp, period. Just
Shrimp.
like across the
Yeah.
board.
Yeah,
Love
just
that.
like
Love that take.
shrimp is my favorite food. Scallops, every year
Oh.
they just inch closer and closer to the top.
Dude, they're so good. When like you get like a good cooked scallop, oh, it's so
Bacon
good.
wrapped
Wait,
scallops,
wait.
like
Do you guys remember when Market had scallops?
Yes, I
Market-
do. It was the
Market had
sketchiest thing on the
scallops?
planet. Yes, they had bacon wrapped scallops the one time. It was the sketchiest thing I've ever seen.
were they good?
No, they were bad. They just tasted like bacon, and it was like chewing on rubber. It was like it legit was like gum. It was like
for this.
I have no idea where you were for this. It would like there were down there though. It was like that middle station at the bottom of towers where like they serve like fried rice and stuff there.
Yeah.
And like
Oh,
they had it was
right.
like that, and then it was like the bacon wrap scallops.
hmm
That's crazy. What?
Yeah.
When you said it tasted like rubber, I'm just like thinking of, like Gordon Ramsay, just rubber, rubber, rubber.
Yeah.
That's
More
the
rubber
thing.
than a bouncy ball.
It's
That-
rubber. It's like Gandhi's flip flop.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the thing. I just like that. I can't put like I definitely can't put scallops over shrimp because I don't like I guess the consistency and the texture of scallops. Like
But
it
have you
is
ever had
to-
like a good cooked ones, or like have you had the ones where like they're just like rubber?
No, they're good. They'll be cooked well. Just I don't like. I just don't prefer like the consistency. Like something that I guess it's easier to chew than the scallops are. And Justin, what type of shrimp? Like
Well, I usually just go with like shrimp, but like just regular
Like-
like a shrimp cocktail, just like
Oh,
just have
so
like
good.
a bowl of fried shrimp. Yeah, like so good. That's why like I just say like shrimp broadly is like my favorite food. But like that's why like if that's what, yeah like shrimp is great. But like if it was my like last meal, I'd probably have like a seafood like medley type of thing with like with a lobster tail or like or something like that. Like yeah, maybe like a last meal type of food. But like
dude, I'm so hungry right now. Oh my god.
have you guys ever had swordfish?
Yes. Oh my god.
I
So
really
good.
want to try it.
I had that one time. I think I might have been like DC or something. Because like my dad used to work for like this bank and he got like a ton of points. So I was like, oh, we stayed in this really nice hotel, like totally on his points. And it was like they had swordfish on the menu and he got it and he had me like try a bite. It's literally like steak.
Steak
It's-
and fish just crossed
it's-
over.
It's the craziest consistency ever. It's like
Mhm.
it is like actually like steak where it has like the muscle fibers. It's like it's tough enough that it doesn't just like fall apart. It stays like in its shape.
Not
But it
flaky.
tastes like really, really good white fish. It's
interesting.
the craziest thing.
It's so good. Rolling Seafood Grill over in Strip District of Pittsburgh
Yeah.
has swordfish. Fantastic. We gotta go there. So, like it's so good. I'm not a big person on like a steak, like flavor. Like I like steak, but like if you're gonna give me like just a chunk of steak, like a filet mignon, like I know it's good and I appreciate a well cooked steak, but like the flavor doesn't touch anywhere as close to like really good Italian dishes or like like seafood dishes for me. But like the crossover of a steak and a white like fish in the swordfish is just a perfect
Crazy.
blend. They just like mind blown. Like
It's absolutely insane. It's like it like your brain like processes like, yes, this is fish, but like you're eating it, you're like, this isn't what it's supposed to be. Like it shouldn't be good like this. It's absolutely crazy.
do you guys have like food spots that are like that you just like for no reason, or you just really like have had good meals there that you
Are you
just
talking
like,
about
Well-
guilty pleasures? I was about to say, are you talking like
Sure.
guilty pleasure
take
spots?
it
Yeah.
wherever you want, like restaurants you want to shout out.
We
or
all
just,
know
like,
he's gonna say Canes.
Oh god.
But though I'm trying to think of something like I guess less known, or like
Oh well, I was
I
just
don't know,
gonna say
that's difficult.
I really mess with Applebee's for whatever reason. Like
Yeah.
Applebee's just like is a spot. Like their appetizers are great. Like I've never had a bad dinner there. I know that some people don't like Applebee's and like that's fine, but like anytime Applebee's is an option, just like it's on lock. It's just boom, pay for that.
Yeah.
Buca de Beppo.
Shut up.
Raj, that's your third
So
strike.
much Buca de
That's my
Beppo.
third strike.
That is your third strike.
Dude, the fact that I
You
got an
need to
automated.
leave.
Wait, Jacob, did you get an automated response too from your Google review?
I got the same response you did.
Yeah, exactly. I know, Raj,
There's-
you have like you've been like hyping up Taco Bell so much, and like I have to kind of agree with you.
It's a
Like
guilty pleasure.
I know it's terrible food. I know it's so bad for you, and I'm going to regret it later, but my god, I love the absolutely processed quesadillas from there with all of my heart. They're so good.
Mhm. Taco Bell is a guilty like pleasure area.
Exactly.
There's been a whole like I don't know if I was telling you guys about it, but like there's a whole thing that like a YouTuber came up with that I watch, and he says like Taco Bell movies, and it's the same idea. Like you know the movie is bad, but you still really enjoy it and like watching it.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I just like the phrase of Taco Bell movie just really like sits
Yeah,
with me,
instead of
like,
guilty pleasure, it's a Taco Bell type of thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, actually, okay, I'll give my answer, and then let's actually do that for movies then, or TV shows too.
Arrow. Okay, continue, Jacob.
In terms of food, I'd probably have to say either Domino's or McDonald's.
Oh,
Purely because
Domino's.
the bang for your buck and the combination with the deals that they both have. The deal you can get a Big Mac and 10 nuggets for like $5 at McDonald's.
Like
that's
we know it's not real meat, but my god, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
McDonald's
It's
is
so
good.
cheap.
Yeah.
We're
Ugh,
gonna have to get a Domino's sponsorship. We talk way too much about Domino's.
we gotta get the sponsorship. We gotta get all the deals.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm trying to think about like what guilty pleasure, I guess Taco Bell, TV shows or like movies that I kind of like I know are terrible, but I just watch them anyway. I'm trying to think.
I have two. One from a movie, one for TV show. TV show, Cobra Kai, obviously. Like
I don't know if it classifies though, because there are good parts of Cobra Kai. I don't know if it
But-
completely classifies itself as a Taco Bell movie.
But
Or
like
show.
you cannot say that the acting is like that good. The writing is like that good. Like you can't say any of the show is like very well done. But I love it nonetheless. Like that is one of like the shows that I love to watch. What you saw it in like how many hours, Raj? When the most recent season?
It came out at 3 a.m. and I finished at 7 a.m.
Like as soon as I got the text from Raj he had finished, I was like, all right, shoot, I gotta watch this. And I finished it like relatively quickly. Like I finished it probably before I had lunch. And it's really not that good, like, at certain points, but like I absolutely love the show. Love everything about it. And then in terms of movie, there's a movie called Money Plane. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys about this. But there's these two YouTube channels that do like movie reviews, like satirical movie reviews. and they collabed on Money Plane, and it's really bad. It looked really bad in the review, so I watched it with my friend, and it was like so much worse than I ever expected. But it was so bad that it was like funny and enjoyable to point out like bad parts of it.
I love movies like that though, that you can like when you just like you put on the movie and you just like laugh at it. Like those are some of the best. Like especially like when you have like horror movies that are like terrible and you're watching them with friends. Like it is so unbelievably funny just to watch. Like I think one of the times I forget which movie it was. I guess one of my Taco Bell movies that I because I just had such a good experience with it. I think it might have been the most recent Annabelle movie, I think. I forget which one it was, but it was so bad that people in the movie theater were like talking to each other during the movie. It was
Wow.
like we would be like my friends and I obviously we were like being obnoxious whatever and like my friend would like scream at like the non jump scares and people like started laughing like early on in the movie. So like by the end of the movie, people were just like yelling at the screen like don't go in there. What are you doing? It was so funny. Like I was crying laughing just because of how good of an experience it was and like now that I'm thinking about it, like I kind of wish that's like how some movies were, where it's like, yeah, I mean, this is gonna be terrible going into it. Like, just have fun with it, like, because it's just such a good experience.
Yeah, no, it's the same with me and my friends. I remember, like, I think my freshman year of high school, we went to watch a Blair Witch Project. Absolutely terrible movie, but like just the experience. We were all just clowning around, just like screaming, like, "Oh my god, don't do that!"
Yeah,
And it's just, yeah, I feel that with the experience of like a bad
yeah,
movie, but like just the vibes in the theater, everyone just joining in.
yeah.
Yeah, really recent. We were talking about it yesterday. Crimes of Grindelwald, not a good movie, but I really enjoy watching it. I had another one
It
in my.
it did have its that movie did have its highs, like that end scene with the dragon.
Yeah, it was cool. And then Iron Man 2 is a Taco Bell movie.
Oh, I love
I
Iron
really,
Man 2.
I
It's so bad, but it's
I like
so
Iron Man
good.
2, but I understand that it is not a good movie.
How do you guys movie though? Like, I don't get that one. I seriously don't get that one.
Dude, the scene where Iron Man is like making his own element gets me hyped every time. I'm like, he's making a new element,
Dude,
proton beam outside.
the final battle with him and War Machine just going ham on the drones. God, it's so good. It's like it like activates like my monkey brain where it's just like colors. It's just like that's what I want to see. Where it's just like they're just smashing robots. Like yes, this
Even
is
they're
Like
just funny. Like, go ahead.
yeah, no, like even the first scene of that movie where he just gives the big F you to the U.S. government, and everything. Like,
oh my god.
I do like that part. That
like that's
part
I
was
like that
hilarious.
scene.
Like
I
that.
have successfully privatized world peace.
Yep. And like it's great. And then they have the whole like Romanoff thing where she pretends to pretty much be like the hot assistant to
Oh
Pepper Potts,
yeah.
and she's an undercover spy. And
Yeah.
Happy's in the movie, and
Uh,
Nick
Actually,
Fury
you know what?
shows up, and he's
Elon Musk was in the
dying.
movie too, right?
What?
Elon Musk was in the movie too, right?
He
yes,
is
he
in the movie,
was.
yeah.
So he's canon.
He is canon.
He is canon. Yes.
I think the worst part about that movie though is like its villain is so forgettable. Like I think
Justin Hammer
that's
or
really
the other guy?
No, but
the other guy.
Gonko is so funny because like he just wants his pet bird for part of the movie, and he gets upset because they took away his bird, and he kills the guard. He hangs the guards.
That is one of the funniest shots. Like it's not supposed to be funny, but like it just like cuts to him and there's just like no context. His hands are just really bloody and there's just two guards like in the back of the frame hanging. It's like no context whatsoever and it's just like he's just like on the phone. It's like what?
Just great movie. I don't know if I have any TV shows. I mean, I think The Flash is like a TV show I really
Oh.
enjoy watching, even though it's bad. Like I know it's bad, and like even the recent, I haven't even seen the recent seasons, but like I know I would still get some enjoyment out of watching them. I know I would.
Yeah.
Part of me that would be like, okay, this is kind of good. Grey's Anatomy got really bad at the end, but I still enjoyed watching it.
I agree with you on the Grace one. It's just a repeat of everything at this point.
You're invested. You're just like,
Exactly.
man, they're gonna die. Like what? Like, and you're like,
Just, it's literally just a cycle of doctors hooking up and then dying.
Dying.
It's just it
it
continues.
gets you every time.
It gets
trend
you
is-
every time.
Every doctor that's hooked up with Meredith is dead
Oh boy.
or gonna die.
Plot twist, she's the angel of death. That's the entire show. Oh god. Yeah, I don't know any like real TV shows that are like a guilty pleasure for me. I would say like every once in a while I'll get on like a kick and I'll watch like an episode or two of Star Wars The Clone Wars, but like other than that, like I don't really have many guilty pleasure shows.
Listen, I'm gonna say it. Go back and watch Big Time Rush. I did it over the summer.
I did that.
What?
I did too.
It was
Dude,
it was a
their
great
music
experience.
is so good. It has
It is
no
good.
right to be
I
that
will-
hard.
I will say it on the pod. I'm not embarrassed. I would listen to Big Time Rush at least once every month.
At least once.
I'll just go down all their songs and listen because they're catchy.
They just have the catchy boy band energy. It's like,
Yeah.
damn it, why is this
They're
good?
they're coming back.
They are. They're going on tour, right?
I know they just went. The tickets were so. I was gonna go with my sister. The tickets were so expensive.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they were.
They were outrageously expensive.
Yeah.
But Big Time Rush is coming back. They just released a song
what's their best song or your favorite song?
worldwide.
Worldwide.
Good.
That's when Joe leaves to go to Australia to record her set, and they're in the airport, and they had to like sing. They're singing to her because she's like leaving. They almost forgot their goodbye kiss. Emotional.
Very moving episode.
You're like actually invested in this. Wow, this is like legit.
Not really. The goodbye kiss thing was definitely really cringy, but that was real cringy. I'm not even gonna lie.
I ain't even gonna lie, that's
It
kind of
was
bad.
It was cringy when I was 8. It's cringy now.
It was cringy when you were young. Oh, I thought you meant like going back. Oh boy, that's
No,
tough.
It's cringy at any time, but the music is good, and the show is also really funny. There's a great episode where Carlos and James like go to school, and they're like imagining the teacher being like a super hot teacher, and like they go out to like the pool and like get to just like not do work and whatnot, and they start like their own like food fight and stuff, and they just keep getting in trouble. It's really funny.
Dude, I was invested in the drama that happened in like the last season between who was it, Kendall? He had to pick between Joe and that other
Yeah,
girl.
that was
I was
drama.
invested.
Yeah, I know who he was gonna pick, and then
He went back to the ex.
yeah, and the pilot is really good. The pilot episode, like where they just like are
I
auditioning.
do remember that.
It's,
Yeah.
it's classic. Big Time Rush, man. Like
Big
everyone
Time
wanted,
Rush is back.
everyone wanted that swirly slide when they were young.
The swirly.
house.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
And the games in the house, like come on,
Oh.
like everyone wanted it.
Everybody wanted that.
Uh-huh.
I
Dude,
miss those old shows.
And I don't remember the show at all, honestly. Like I remember like certain characters. I remember Gustavo Rock, of course.
Gustavo.
classic.
You don't know music if you don't know who
Dude.
Gustavo is.
But no, I don't remember. Like, yeah, I don't remember like a lot of these. Like, how did it end?
I don't remember.
I think they're just performing. Like they just end up performing.
Yeah.
Like I think they're literally just they're like I think it ends with them like playing a song and it's kind of the way it ended was weird. I think they took a really long time between season 3 and season 4, which made it really awkward in terms of like how they like finished out the show. There's a distinct difference in all the way they all look really differently and
Oh yeah,
stuff.
because they all got like older and everything. So
Yeah. You might be able to hear my computer. That's not ideal.
no,
Um,
you can't hear it. You're good.
Perfect. Because yeah, season 4 is like it's season 1's 18 episodes, season 2's 27 episodes, then it goes 12. So like there's big time like dip off.
Big time.
Tip off.
What's the okay? So right,
Okay. So the last episode's really bad, probably actually. Where like they're performing at the Tween Choice Awards, but then a villain is like bent on destroying the show, so like Big Time Rush stops the show, and they,
Oh
like,
my god! They pulled the cars too.
yeah, but they stop they stop the villain, and then they get their award, and it's like their way of being like thank you for the award, and like because they actually won the award in real life, I think, and then
Oh my
like
god!
and then the show ends.
So they just completely jumped the shark. They just like went all out. They were like, oh yeah, no, Big Time Rush is like stopping a supervillain. It's like,
Yeah.
wasn't this show about like some guys that wanted to make music? Like, how do we get here?
So the villain, his goal was he was like he's selling cheese, right? And he was gonna have this QR code that people scanned with, like they put that on they put on 3D glasses or whatever, and it would hypnotize them and give them a crazy like cheese addiction. So they would go and like buy his product. And like if the commercial aired, then like everyone was gonna go like cheese crazy.
Is that
And,
what
like,
Coinbase did to us during the Super Bowl?
listen,
Coinbase ad. Oh my god!
pretty much.
I am
So then-
so shocked that you remember it to this detail.
Well, I
Like,
watched
this is
it. I watched it
impressive.
in the summer.
Oh, okay. So you watched this recently. Oh, okay.
But like, if the music's gonna be like, if the music creates better memories, and like their show, like you got the music going. I know where these sets of these videos happen. I'll never forget when they performed one song. I forget what it's called, but they performed this one song in like in front of the traffic. They were like blocking traffic on top of like their van, and they were playing on top of their van because this part of the song was written by Lucy, who was Kendall's new girlfriend after he broke up with Joe. I forget what the song. I forget what the
I don't know
song's
any
called.
of these characters. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Dude,
I'm
I'll
like,
tell you,
I'm
the
telling-
drama of that show was
On
top
go
tier.
back and watch Big Time. It's so funny, and I think it ages like I think it's comical, especially like because you see like these guys are probably about like our ish age, a little bit younger, like
Yeah.
in their time. So like you see some of the things like they're interested in, like the things they're not interested. They're not interested in being a boy band. They're interested in like being people, and like you're like that's funny because like you're also a boy band. I don't know. I think the show's funny, but what aged really poorly was iCarly. iCarly aged so poorly. I could barely get through. Chick, I think was I watching iCarly with you? I don't think so. Last
No.
year. I think I was watching iCarly. I think I watched iCarly with you last year.
No, I know we watched Ash, but I don't think we watched. I don't know if we watched iCarly.
Well, I watched an episode of iCarly with someone, and let me tell you, I could barely get through the first hour. Not the first hour, the first episode. It was so bad. The acting is terrible. I don't know how I didn't realize. Like, it's brutal.
It's iconic though. Like so, rank.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It was
We're
so
not
bad.
ranking. We're not
No.
ranking. We're not doing a
No.
full bit with this. No,
Drake and Josh, iCarly, Sam and Cat, Big Time Rush.
dude. Sam and Cat. I forgot
Yeah.
that show existed until you said it.
Serious?
Big Time
Oh
Rush at
my
1, Drake and
God.
Josh at 2, Sam and Cat 3, iCarly 4.
Are you not going to count Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide?
Oh my god.
Stop. This is an extra cycle thing. We're not doing this
This
right
is
now.
too much. This is
No.
too much to unpack.
Ned's Declassified is so good.
And if we're
Oh.
doing this, then we have to add in Victorious. We have to add in all the
Oh,
other ones.
Degrassi. With Drake.
Not watch Degrassi.
I did not watch it either. I just remember watching ads for it.
Yeah, it adds.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Zoe 101.
Oh, Zoe.
Everybody
Ano-
wants.
Another terrible indication of what high school is like.
Oh my god. They hyped up high school so much.
Now, I know they were at a boarding school, but they didn't really like make that clear to like 10-year-olds who were like not yet in high school.
Exactly.
I mean, that is the greatest high school of all time.
Yeah. Remember the episode where they made like a hot tub like outside of their like rooms?
No,
They, like,
but that
pumped
sounds awesome.
Water in through the pool
No,
or something like a hot tub.
I can't
It was
remember.
epic.
Should have done that in Towers.
Put it outside, we'd fall down on the ground.
I mean, hey, we're getting that hot tub soon, so
That is true.
Hot tub coming to a Pittsburgh house near you.
coming to a PA house near you. Gotta love it.
Well, I think if no one has anything else, then we will conclude this episode of the Washed Athlete Podcast. Thanks for sticking around as we talked about track, TV shows, favorite food, and anything else along the way. So, yeah, I guess we'll see you next time.
All right, peace, everybody.
No Bengals.